In the stillness of a dimly lit bamboo grove, a whispered betrayal fractured the calm like a sudden storm. Young Kai, barely a man, stood frozen, his breath caught in his chest as the words echoed in his mind. "I never wanted you to know this," his father had said, voice trembling with regret. The secret shattered everything Kai believed, the truth of his lineage, the hidden curse that bound his family to the bamboo forest. Shadows stretched long across the ancient stalks, their rustling voices weaving sorrow into the night. The wind carried a haunting silence, one that pressed against Kai's ribs, threatening to break the fragile calm within. His world had cracked irreversibly. Trust had fled, replaced by a fierce emptiness that echoed deeper than any wound. Kai's hands clenched the rough bark of a nearby bamboo, grounding himself against the tidal wave of betrayal. The past, once a solid foundation, was now as fragile and swaying as the bamboo in the wind, strong yet yielding, a paradox that mirrored his very soul. Kai's mind spiraled as he staggered back from the confrontation. The betrayal was not just a secret, it was a rupture of identity, a fissure that split his world apart. His mother's absence now gained a new meaning, not abandonment, but protection from a dark truth. The bamboo grove, once a place of peace, had become a labyrinth of doubt and sorrow. He remembered the stories whispered in his childhood, tales of strength through flexibility, resilience born of yielding. But could that wisdom anchor him now? Or was it too fragile to hold against the weight of his shattered trust? His fingers brushed against the smooth bamboo beside him, searching for steadiness. The wind sighed through the leaves, carrying the soft murmur of the forest, as if offering a silent solace. Yet inside, a tempest raged, fierce and relentless. Kai's heart ached with a hunger, not just for truth, but for a way to reconcile the past with the uncertainty of the future. As night fell, the bamboo grove seemed to pulse with quiet life, shadows weaving like spirits among the stalks. Kai wandered deeper, each step echoing his inner turmoil. The stories of old returned to him, the bamboo that bends in the storm but does not break, the lesson his father's silence had failed to teach. He felt the weight of generations, their whispers tangled in the rustling leaves. Strength is not in rigid defiance, the forest seemed to say, but in the grace to yield and endure. A solitary owl hooted in the distance, a lonely sentinel in the vast darkness. Kai's gaze lifted to the moonlight, filtering through the canopy, its silver glow bathing the world in quiet clarity. He realized that to survive this storm, he must embrace the flexibility of the bamboo, to bow without breaking, to bend without losing his root. In the heart of the grove, Kai found a solitary bamboo stalk, taller and straighter than the rest. He reached out, his fingers tracing the smooth surface, feeling the pulse of life beneath the bark. This bamboo had weathered countless storms, bending with the winds, yet standing proud through every season. Kai whispered to it, "Teach me to be like you." The forest seemed to hold its breath, the leaves stilling in reverence. For a moment the world was suspended, time folding in on itself as Kai absorbed the lesson written in nature's resilience. It was not weakness to yield, but wisdom, not surrender, but survival. As dawn crept over the horizon, the first light kissed the bamboo stalk, casting a golden glow. Kai felt a fragile hope ignite within him, a seed of strength nurtured by the gentle bend of the bamboo. The first light of dawn brought with it a quiet clarity. Kai stood amidst the bamboo, now seeing the grove not as a prison of secrets, but a sanctuary of lessons. The betrayal still lingered like a scar, but it no longer defined him. The bamboo taught him that strength was found not in resisting the inevitable, but in embracing change with grace. As the forest awoke, birds began their morning chorus, a symphony of renewal and promise. Kai's breath steadied, his heart no longer a tempest, but a calm sea ready to face whatever storms lay ahead. With one last look at the resilient bamboo, he stepped forward, ready to write the next chapter of his story, one forged in the balance of strength and flexibility, pain and hope intertwined like the dance of the wind through the leaves. Days passed, yet Kai's heart remained tethered to the fragile hope kindled in the bamboo grove. He returned to the village, a place both familiar and foreign now, where the faces of neighbors held whispers of the past and silent judgments. His mother's absence felt heavier, a hollow space in every greeting. Yet beneath the weight of sorrow, there was a quiet determination growing. Kai sought the wisdom of the village elder, a woman named Hana, whose eyes held the calm of many storms weathered. "The bamboo bends, yes," Hana said softly. "But remember, it also roots deep. Strength without roots is but a brittle branch." Kai listened, feeling the truth in her words seep into his soul. In the sanctuary of her humble home, surrounded by ancient relics and the scent of incense, Kai began to confront not just his pain, but the strength buried beneath it, a strength that would carry him through the trials to come. That night, as the village slipped into silence, Kai sat by the hearth, the flickering flames mirroring the turmoil within. Memories of his childhood floated like embers, laughter with his mother, stern lessons from his father, moments of fleeting happiness now tinged with the bitter aftertaste of betrayal. He whispered into the dark, "Why did you hide this from me?" The wind outside seemed to carry a gentle answer, rustling the bamboo leaves with soft insistence. Kai realized that pain, like the fire, could consume or illuminate. It was his choice to either burn in bitterness or to let it warm and guide him. As the flames danced, Kai's resolve hardened. He would not be broken by the past. Instead, he would become like the bamboo, rooted, flexible, and enduring, ready to face the storms ahead with newfound clarity. In the days that followed, Kai immersed himself in learning, not only from the elders, but from the very earth beneath his feet. He studied the bamboo's growth, the way each stalk leaned on its neighbor, finding strength in unity. The village children watched with curious eyes as Kai moved with a new purpose, softer yet stronger, carrying the quiet wisdom of acceptance. One afternoon, as rain began to fall, he stood amidst the forest, feeling the droplets on his skin. "Strength is not solitary," he murmured, "but a dance of support and surrender." The rain slicked the bamboo stalks, their emerald hues deepening, shimmering with life and resilience. Kai's heart swelled with a cautious hope that perhaps his broken pieces could be woven into something whole again, stronger than before, a living testament to the bamboo's enduring spirit. One afternoon, a childhood friend named Amy approached Kai in the village square, her eyes reflecting a mixture of concern and hope. "You carry a heavy burden," she said gently, "but you don't have to carry it alone." Kai looked at her, surprised by the warmth in her voice. For the first time since the revelation, he felt the tentative stirrings of connection. Emmy's presence was a reminder that strength was not just inward, but also found in the hands that reach out to help us. They spoke long into the evening, sharing stories and dreams beneath the fading light. Kai realized that vulnerability was not a weakness, but a bridge to others. In her companionship, he found a new kind of courage, one that embraced both pain and the possibility of healing. As evening deepened, Kai walked alone once more to the bamboo grove, the place where his journey had begun. The air was cool, filled with the scent of earth and growing things. The forest no longer felt like a prison, but a sanctuary of wisdom and renewal. He knelt by the roots of a particularly strong bamboo stalk, placing his palms on the soil. "I am not what I feared," he whispered. "I am more." The grove seemed to breathe with him, the leaves rustling in quiet encouragement. Kai's eyes lifted to the stars emerging in the velvet night, each one a beacon of hope. He was still a work in progress, a fragile yet determined soul bending with life's storms, but refusing to break. The bamboo's lesson was clear. True strength blossoms from flexibility, and from the courage to grow anew, no matter the past. Kai's newfound resolve was tested as whispers began to circulate in the village. Old wounds reopened when rumors about his family's secret spread like wildfire. Neighbors who once greeted him with warmth now cast sideways glances, their voices laced with suspicion and judgment. Even some friends kept their distance, wary of the shadow the past cast over him. Kai felt the sting of isolation once again, a familiar ache creeping beneath his calm exterior. Yet, amidst the coldness, he remembered Hana's words. "Roots must run deep to withstand the storm." "I will not let their fear uproot me," Kai said quietly to himself, standing tall despite the unseen weight. His spirit, though battered, refused to break. The bamboo may bend, but it does not snap. He was learning to embody that truth, even as the village turned against him. One afternoon, Kai faced a harsh confrontation with Takumi, a childhood friend turned skeptic. "Why bring trouble on us all?" Takumi challenged, his voice sharp and accusing. "Adu." Kai met his gaze, steady and calm. "I seek only to understand and grow," he replied. "Is that a threat?" The tension crackled like dry leaves in the wind. The village, once a source of comfort, had become a battleground of trust and doubt. Yet in this conflict, Kai glimpsed a deeper truth. Strength was not merely resistance, but the courage to hold space for disagreement without losing oneself. The bamboo's lesson echoed again. Resilience comes through flexibility, through yielding without surrendering. Kai's voice was steady, filled with quiet power, as he chose understanding over anger. That evening, Kai retreated once more to the bamboo grove, seeking solace from the growing storm. The forest seemed alive with whispers, the leaves rustling secrets only the wind understood. He ran his fingers along the bamboo stalks, feeling their steady pulse beneath his touch. "Why must strength come with struggle?" he pondered aloud. The forest responded in silence, a gentle breeze bending the stalks gracefully. Kai realized the bamboo did not resist the storm but danced with it, yielding to the force without losing its essence. It was a balance he yearned to master, to face adversity not as a battle to win, but a flow to embrace. As moonlight filtered softly through the leaves, Kai's heart settled into a rhythm of acceptance and resolve, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. The next morning brought a new challenge. News that the village council debated expelling Kai's family from the community. Fear and misunderstanding fueled the discussion, ignoring the boy's quiet strength. Kai attended the meeting, his heart pounding yet his voice unwavering. "I am part of this village," he said firmly. "Like the bamboo, I will bend, not break, for the good of all." His words hung in the air, stirring unease and reflection among the council. Some saw his courage, others a stubbornness they feared. The meeting ended without resolution, but Kai's stance had been made clear. His journey was no longer just about survival. It was about belonging, about shaping a future where strength and flexibility walked hand in hand. That evening, as Kai walked alone by the river's edge, Emi found him. "You carry more than just your own burden," she said softly. "You carry ours too." Kai nodded, feeling the weight of collective hope and fear settle on his shoulders. Yet her words brought a strange comfort, a reminder that he was not truly alone. The river's gentle current mirrored his own journey, ever moving, shaping, sometimes breaking, but always flowing forward. Kai gazed at the shimmering water, understanding at last that strength was not a solitary path but a shared one. With Emma's quiet support and the lessons of the bamboo whispering in his heart, he was ready to face the rising conflict, not as a fractured soul, but as a rooted spirit, bending yet unbroken. One quiet evening, Kai returned to the elder Hana's home, seeking answers beyond the surface of whispered rumors. Hana, with her calm gaze, revealed a long-hidden truth. The curse that shadowed Kai's family was not a punishment, but a legacy of protection. "Your ancestors," she explained softly, "were guardians of this forest, bound to the bamboo by a sacred vow. What others see as a curse is a sacred trust." The revelation struck Kai like a sudden gust, overturning his understanding of himself and his lineage. The betrayal he felt began to shift into something else: purpose. Hana's words wove a new story into the fabric of his identity, a story not of shame but of honor. The forest, the village, and Kai were all part of a greater whole, connected in ways deeper than he had ever imagined. Kai's mind raced with the implications of Hana's revelation. The village's fear and rejection suddenly seemed rooted in misunderstanding rather than malice. He stood again in the bamboo grove, the sacred place of his ancestors, feeling the pulse of the forest beneath his feet. "I carry this vow now," he whispered, "not as a burden, but as a calling." The bamboo around him swayed gently in the breeze, as if affirming his words. In that moment, Kai understood that the strength he sought was intertwined with responsibility, a bond to protect not only himself, but the land and people who depended on him. This new awareness ignited a fierce determination to reclaim his place, not by denying his past, but by embracing it fully with all its complexity and weight. Yet the path ahead was not without shadows. Kai discovered that some in the village sought to exploit the fear of the curse for their own gain. A rival faction led by a man named Ryo worked to deepen the divide, spreading lies and stirring unrest. Kai confronted Ryo beneath the ancient boughs of the largest bamboo, voice steady but fierce. "Your fear blinds you," Kai said. "The strength of our village lies in truth and unity, not division." Ryo sneered, unwilling to listen, but Kai's words struck a chord in those who witnessed the exchange. The battle for hearts and minds had begun, not with swords, but with courage and conviction. Kai's resolve hardened. To protect his legacy, he must face not only the past, but the present's dark currents. That night, Kai sought solitude by the river, where the water's flow mirrored his turbulent thoughts. As moonlight danced on the ripples, a voice called softly. Emmy had followed him, offering quiet companionship. "You carry much weight," she said. "But you don't have to carry it alone." Kai's heart ached with the depth of her kindness. Together, they watched the water, sharing silence that spoke louder than words. Emmy's presence was a balm to his restless spirit, a reminder that strength blossomed not just from within, but from the bonds we forged. Kai felt a new clarity. The hidden truths were not just revelations, but invitations to lean on others, to trust and be vulnerable without fear. In that moment, the bamboo's lesson of flexible strength found its fullest meaning. The next morning dawned with a quiet resolve. Kai stood once again at the edge of the village, feeling the weight of his ancestors and the eyes of his people upon him. He knew the coming days would demand all the strength and flexibility he had learned, not only to face external challenges, but to reconcile the fractures within himself. The hidden truths had shattered old illusions, but they had also forged a path forward. As the bamboo swayed gently in the morning breeze, Kai stepped into the light, ready to become the guardian his family's legacy called him to be. The journey was far from over, but for the first time, Kai embraced the uncertain road with open heart and steady spirit, knowing that true strength was a dance of bending and standing tall, forever intertwined. The village square was tense, as Kai prepared to confront the growing unrest. Ryo's faction had stirred fear to a fever pitch, and now the community teetered on the edge of division. Kai stepped forward, his voice carrying calm authority. "We are stronger together," he said firmly. "The bamboo teaches us to bend with the storm, but never to break. If we tear ourselves apart, we lose everything." His words rippled through the crowd, stirring a mixture of doubt and hope. The battle was not with weapons, but with hearts and minds. Kai faced the challenge not as a victim, but as a leader willing to bear the weight of change. The air crackled with tension, but beneath it was the pulse of something new, a fragile chance at unity born from understanding. Ryo stepped forward, his voice sharp and filled with accusation. "You speak of unity, Kai, but you hide truths that endanger us all." Kai met his gaze unflinchingly. "The truth is not a weapon to divide us, but a bridge to understanding," he replied. The clash of ideals echoed like thunder in the square. Emotions surged, but Kai's steady presence calmed the storm. He spoke of legacy, responsibility, and the strength born of flexibility. "We must choose to grow together or fall divided." His conviction pierced through fear, slowly unraveling the threads of discord Ryo had woven. Though the path ahead was uncertain, Kai's voice became the beacon for those seeking peace amid chaos. As the confrontation simmered, Emmy stepped forward, her voice soft but clear. "Fear has blinded us, but we can choose a different path." She reached for Kai's hand, a gesture of solidarity that rippled through the crowd. Slowly, others joined, voices once raised in anger now mingled in conversation and reflection. The village began to breathe again, the sharp edges of conflict softening into dialogue. Kai felt the power of connection surge beneath the surface, the same strength he had seen in the bamboo grove. This was not the end of their struggle, but a turning point. Together, they could weather the storm, bend without breaking, and grow stronger in the aftermath. Night fell, and the village gathered around a large bonfire at the edge of the bamboo forest. Kai spoke quietly of resilience and renewal, his words weaving a tapestry of hope and healing. The flames flickered, casting dancing shadows on faces, lifted in quiet reverence. The bamboo whispered softly in the night breeze, a reminder of the strength found in yielding. Kai's heart swelled with a mixture of relief and resolve. The climax was not a victory over others, but a transformation within. The village was healing, and so was he. The path ahead remained uncertain, but now it was lit by the shared fire of community and courage. As the embers faded, Kai walked alone into the quiet grove, the cool night air wrapping around him like a gentle embrace. He knelt by the earth, feeling the steady pulse of life beneath his fingertips. "I am no longer broken," he whispered. "I am bending, growing, becoming." The bamboo swayed softly above, its timeless dance a testament to endurance and grace. Kai understood now that true strength was not the absence of struggle, but the willingness to face it with an open heart. His journey was far from over, but he was no longer afraid. In the delicate balance of bending and standing tall, Kai found his true self, a guardian rooted in both humility and strength, ready for whatever storms lay ahead. With the village slowly healing, Kai sought to deepen his understanding of the bamboo's silent wisdom. He spent long hours walking among the stalks, observing their graceful resilience through shifting seasons. The forest became his sanctuary, a living classroom where patience and humility were learned, not through words, but through presence. Kai realized that resolution was not a final destination, but a continuous journey, a delicate balance of strength and flexibility that required daily nurturing. He felt the scars of the past soften into lessons, etched in the rhythm of growth and renewal. The bamboo, with its quiet endurance, whispered a truth Kai now embraced fully. To bend was not to break, but to become whole. Kai's relationship with Mei blossomed into a steady source of support and inspiration. Together, they tended to the village garden, nurturing plants with care that mirrored the lessons learned in the grove. Their shared moments, quiet conversations beneath the sky, laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves, became a balm to Kai's soul. Emmy's gentle presence reminded him that healing was never solitary. It was a dance of connection and trust. In her eyes, Kai found a reflection of his own growth, a testament to the power of vulnerability, embraced with courage. The village, too, began to see Kai not as a bearer of a curse, but as a living symbol of resilience and hope. One afternoon, as the wind stirred the bamboo leaves, Kai stood before the village council once more. This time, his words carried the quiet authority of experience and compassion. "We are all like bamboo," he said, "rooted yet flexible, shaped by trials but unbroken. Let us move forward not as fractured parts, but as a whole, intertwined and strong." The council listened, their skepticism softened by Kai's calm conviction. Slowly, old fears gave way to new understanding. The village began to weave its fractured threads back together, embracing the shared responsibility to nurture strength through unity and adaptability. Kai's journey from pain to purpose had become a beacon lighting the way forward. As seasons shifted, Kai's heart grew lighter. He found joy in simple moments, the laughter of children playing beneath the bamboo, the gentle hum of bees among wildflowers, the steady rhythm of life unfolding around him. He no longer carried the weight of betrayal as a chain, but as a reminder of resilience. Each day was an opportunity to grow, to bend without breaking, to stand rooted yet open to change. Kai's spirit was no longer fractured but whole, shaped by pain and healing alike. The bamboo's timeless lesson had transformed him. Strength was not in rigid resistance, but in the graceful dance of yielding and standing tall, forever intertwined in harmony. One quiet evening, Kai returned once more to the bamboo grove, now a sacred place of peace and power. He knelt beside the earth, hands resting lightly on the soil that nurtured his family's legacy. The moon hung low, casting silver light that danced on leaves and shadows. I am part of this world, Kai whispered, rooted in past, present and future. I bend with the wind, unbroken and free. The bamboo swayed gently above him, a living testament to his journey, a cycle of strength forged through flexibility, of loss transformed into hope. Kai rose with quiet certainty, ready to face whatever lay ahead, carrying the spirit of the bamboo deep within his heart, forever strong and ever flexible. The dawn broke gently over the village, bathing the bamboo grove in soft amber light. Kai stood at the edge of the forest, his silhouette framed by the rising sun. He reflected on the journey, from betrayal and doubt to strength and belonging. The lessons of the bamboo had become his own, to bend with life's storms yet remain deeply rooted. Around him, the village stirred to life, faces bright with cautious hope. Kai's heart swelled with quiet gratitude for the pain that shaped him, for the bonds that healed him. He knew the future was uncertain, but no longer feared the winds that might come. Like the bamboo, he would sway with grace, unbroken, resilient, forever flexible. Kai walked slowly through the village, greeted by smiles and nods that spoke of renewed trust. Children played beneath the swaying bamboo, their laughter mingling with the morning breeze. Mai joined him, her presence a steady comfort. Together, they shared a quiet moment beneath the tallest stalks, where the light filtered through leaves like gentle blessings. The bamboo teaches us, Kai said softly, that strength is not in resistance, but in harmony. Emma smiled, her eyes reflecting the serene wisdom of the forest. In that peaceful union, Kai found a profound sense of belonging, not just to the village, but to the cycle of life itself. As the day unfolded, Kai visited the elder Hana one last time. Her smile was warm and knowing, a mirror of the wisdom she had shared. "You have grown beyond the boy who feared the past," she said. "Now you carry the strength of your ancestors, tempered by the grace of the bamboo." Kai bowed deeply, humbled and proud. The grove whispered softly outside, a living legacy of resilience and renewal. Kai understood now that his journey was part of a larger story, one that spanned generations, connecting roots beneath the earth and branches that touched the sky. With a heart open and steady, Kai embraced his place in that eternal dance, ready to face whatever dawn awaited. Evening came softly, and Kai returned once more to the bamboo grove, now a sacred refuge. The forest was alive with the subtle symphony of crickets and rustling leaves, a gentle reminder that life moves in cycles of quiet strength. Kai sat beneath the tallest stalk, eyes closed, breathing deeply. He felt the pulse of the earth, the steady sway of bamboo, the flow of time that shaped all things. In this stillness he found a profound peace, a harmony born of acceptance and courage. The shadows lengthened, and Kai smiled softly, knowing that true strength was not in standing rigid, but in the grace of bending and growing, forever intertwined with the world around him. As the night deepened, Kai rose and looked up at the stars scattered like jewels above the grove. He whispered the words that had come to define his journey. To bend is to be strong. To yield is to endure. In flexibility, we find freedom. The bamboo swayed softly in the breeze, a living testament to his truth. This final lesson echoed beyond the grove, beyond the village, into the hearts of all who would listen. Kai's story was no longer just his own. It was a timeless tale of resilience, hope, and grace, carried on the wind like the whisper of bamboo leaves. And in that whisper, the promise of strength through flexibility would live forever.